What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another live stream. Finally got the internet fixed, man. That whole situation gonna bring you guys loads of content from here on out. So expect to see this mug a lot. There was videos I wish I could have made in the previous couple of days that I could not make, and due to the internet. But shout out to the Spectrum technician, came through today. Superhero fixed everything up, man, and I'm good to go. All right. It's been an interesting couple of last days. I attempted to do a video yesterday, came up a little bit short because the quality was bad. So I wanted to make sure that I hit you guys with good quality. And what better way to do that than with brand new internet? All right. So the NBA projection for the 2022-2023 Lakers season has dropped by ESPN. Now, you might ask, why so early before the schedule even? I mean, they were talking about, again, on ESPN, Brian Windhorst was talking about 42-40, best case scenario for the Lakers. Now, here's my thing. Shout out to Robert Noti Gang, yes sir. So here's my thing about that whole situation. All right, we don't have a completed final roster. All right, as far as we know right now. Also, we don't have. There's still moves to be made. We heard about the Kevin Durant situation yesterday. I will touch on that a little bit. Still plenty of moves to be made. Jeannie Buss talked about it recently in an interview that she was promoting her new special that's going to come out, I believe, on Hulu, right? I don't want to, but it's her new documentary series. It's going to have a lot of Laker greats on there, guys. So I look forward to breaking that down with you guys as well. Hey, what's up, Randolph? Happy Tuesday, my friend. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for the donation. Doing good. Thanks for asking. Good. He said, what did the Nets give up to the Warriors for KD? The Nets didn't give up nothing. I don't know if you remember, but Kevin Durant walked as a free agent. So yeah, there's that. But it could be, we don't know what the final trade is going to look like. I don't expect Russell Westbrook to be a Laker. I don't expect Kyrie and Kevin Durant to both be Brooklyn Nets. Maybe one, maybe, to start the season. But as far as that goes, man, I don't know what to expect as far as that goes. But I will say this. I would be extremely shocked if everybody is currently, like as the NBA is constructed right now, if everybody is currently on their current roster. I will be shocked. Remember, the NBA has pushed back the regular season schedule drop to next week. It was supposed to drop this week. Okay, so it was pushed back to next week for a reason. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they're buying teams time before the schedule makers start operating, because they know as well that there's a high chance that NBA teams, blockbuster trades will happen eventually, hopefully before training camp, and everything's going to look a lot different. But again, I do want to talk about the projections and everything. I will get into you guys' questions, man. What's up, Max? He said, I thought I missed your video yesterday. I didn't see it on your channel. I attempted to pull one out, man, but the connection quality was so bad that I just ended up deleting the video as a whole. I want to give you guys grade A quality content only, right? That's what we strive for, greatness. He said, best case for the Lakers, 42-40 if they keep this roster. Now, I don't believe that, Alan. Let me tell you why. Even if we keep this roster, you can't tell me we're going to have a similar record to last year. We've improved tremendously. First of all, the coaching staff is completely different. I do believe that this coaching staff will empower our players to play to their strength, which is using size to dominate in the paint and also playing team basketball instead of individual. We're going to play collectively, right? At least on paper, that's what it looks like. That's factor number one. Factor number two, we got a lot younger. People forget we haven't brought back Carmelo. We didn't bring back Dwight. We haven't brought back DeAndre Jordan. We didn't bring back Kent Bazemore. We didn't bring back Trevor Ariza, Dwight Howard. All these older players are currently, most of them are free agents. Some of them have signed elsewhere. But as of right now, the Lakers got a lot younger. All right, that's a plus. People were crying about how old we were last year. Well, guess what? Right, the Lakers did what they had to do. They got some size, right? Damian Jones, obviously Thomas Bryant. Hopefully we get a healthy Anthony Davis. Darvin Ham has already spoken about how he's going to be crucial to the team's success. I wholeheartedly agree. It all is going to depend, whether we make a trade or not. It's all going to depend on the health of two main players, as Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Remember, those two already led us to a title. Don't let the haters tell you otherwise, right? What's up, Joe? Yes, we're back up. Absolutely. He said, Dan, is Westbrook playing for us next year? I have no clue, man. But I will say this. I don't think he will. Matter of fact, I talked about this yesterday, even though most of you didn't see that video because it got deleted. But I talked about Russell Westbrook not being in the promo for the 75th anniversary jerseys, the classics that are coming back, those white and light blue ones that you got to get your hands on if you're a diehard. Beautiful jerseys, man. They're coming back. And as you can see in the comment section on Instagram, both LeBron James and Anthony Davis were excited about it. No comment from Russ. Russ wasn't included in the picture. And I speculate the reason why is because the Lakers are still weighing all their options. Now, the reason Russell Westbrook's still a Laker is because there's still a possibility that Kevin Durant gets traded. And if there's a possibility that Kevin Durant gets traded, there's a huge possibility that Kyrie gets traded to the Lakers. It's that simple, guys. I think the Lakers already have trades on the table that they could have executed and moved on. But the Lakers are operating from a very intelligent standpoint. They're not giving away too much, right? So we don't look desperate. That's number one. Number two, we're being very patient and waiting for the right deal, and we're not going to jump the gun before the right deal appears, right? Now, I also want to talk about what happened with KD yesterday and everything. I touched on it again. For those of you that were here on the live stream, you got to see it. For those of you that were not, I want to touch on that right now. And the Kevin Durant situation is funny to me because, as I said yesterday, the owner is an egomaniac. Almost reminds me of Dan Gilbert back in, when was it? When LeBron James left, 2017, 2018? Dan Gilbert in 2017, 2018. When after being stubborn and saying that he didn't need LeBron and LeBron was a quitter and all this, you have to now eat your crow, accept him back. LeBron leads you to the promised land. You win a championship. And then what happens, right? They let LeBron walk. A lot of these owners are very stubborn, right? And Joe Tsai seems like he's very stubborn as well, talking about he's going to do what's best for the team. Well, guess what's best for the team? Keeping a superstar like Kevin Durant is what's best for the team. However, he's already too disgruntled. Apparently, he was never on board with the Steve Nash signing, with Sean Marks being the GM. This is why you have to praise Jeannie Buss. She has always kept LeBron James in the loop. Say what you will. Some of you guys criticize Jeannie for saying, oh, she gave up the franchise. Oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. Blah, blah, blah. All the criticism. But keep that same energy, because here you have the egomaniac that is Joe Tsai wanting to prove that he's better than a superstar. Listen, the fans don't pay to watch Joe Tsai. They pay to come watch Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And if they're no longer there, good luck selling tickets next year. You'll be the modern version of the New York Knicks. And even the Knicks sell tickets because of their fan base is loyal, but the Nets is a brand new fan base in Brooklyn, right? So some people have even compared them to the Clippers of the East. I wouldn't go that far. I think the Clippers are, at least the Nets have some history in New Jersey. Yeah, Clippers are in a different stratosphere. But look, there is a possibility we still make a trade, a high possibility. I'd say if we're talking about just a trade in general, not Kyrie, but just a trade, I'd say there's an 85% chance right now that the Lakers will make a trade before training camp. One more at least. One, maybe two. 85% chance. Now, I still think it's a 50-50 chance on Kyrie Irving being that piece. But again, the Kevin Durant situation, listen, at this point, now you have to trade him because everything has leaked out. You have basically taken your stance against him instead of for him, and he's not going to be happy. It's going to be really awkward. Now, I do want to talk about the 42 and 40. People are already giving up on the scene because Russell Westbrook's still on. I wouldn't go that far because I do believe in Darvin Ham, and I think Darvin will definitely bench the shit out of Russell Westbrook if he gets out of hand. I think he'll bench him. I really do. He might not even play a whole game if he starts getting into that, whole attitude situation. I've seen him like a tweet about how people are ridiculous. The Lakers are ridiculous for trying to trade him. Listen, D'Angelo Russell liked a similar tweet before he was shipped out. So good luck with that, Russell Westbrook. But I'll say all the Lakers have to do is stay healthy. That's number one. Number two, they have to figure out the right rotations. That means no playing favorites, right? If Darvin Ham practices what he preaches and he talks about facts over feelings, he's going to start the best rotation. He's going to, the best starting lineup. He's going to have the best rotation available to the team. And this is why training camp around the corner, by the way, about a month and a half. And I can't wait to cover all of that. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscription button right now and that post notification bell. We're going to cover end to end as far as training camp, preseason, all of that. There's already been videos leaked of some players putting in work. We've seen Thomas Bryant, running out there with some of these NBA stars. We've seen a couple of players out there putting in work, in the practice facility. We always see LeBron doing that. So it's good to see. But 42-40 is just too early to predict. I told you guys, people have asked me for my prediction. I'll wait for the schedule to drop. I'll wait for the final roster. Once we know this is the roster we're going with, then I will give you my prediction on the record. But mostly when the schedule drops, we can be a little bit more accurate, right? He said, Dan, I just copped the new Kobe shirt. It's fire. Man, listen, I look forward to the new jersey drops, man. Anytime you can get a Kobe jersey, that's a dub, my friend. That is a huge dub. He said, none is going to surprise folks if he's healthy. I hope so. Listen, Roy, last we heard from Kendrick Nunn is that he still was not cleared for 5-on-5 full contact. That's not good. All right, it's been a couple years. That's not good. So prayers up for Kendrick. Let's hope that, he can get on his A game. He said, Dan, there was Laker news that just dropped from Chris Haynes. Did you read it? Are we talking about the meeting between LeBron James and the front office? Yeah. They met. We knew about it. It's just basically a bunch of updates. Now, I find it extremely interesting that all this stuff is coming out. LeBron has not signed that contract extension. He became eligible last Thursday, right? It's almost been a whole week, right? It's been a whole, 4 or 5 days already? He hasn't signed, but all this stuff is flaring up about Kevin Durant, about Kyrie. Nothing happens by accident. The NBA pushing back the schedule. Something's brewing, guys. Something's going to go down. Eventually, somebody's going to blink. Hopefully, it's Joe Tsai. He saves face, puts his ego to the side, and really does what's best for the franchise, which is maximize the value you get in return for KD and Kyrie. The longer this drama goes, I think the trade value plummets because now teams are like, you're desperate. You haven't been able to resolve your situation for over a month, and, you have zero leverage. At this point, you need us as much as we need the player from you. So, all of a sudden they're going to be stuck with a fair trade, which is something they don't want. They want to rip somebody off, especially with Kevin Durant. Listen, Rudy Gobert was able to bring back 4 draft picks. You better expect that Joe Tsai and the Brooklyn Nets is going to want 5, 6, 7 picks minimum on top of a bunch of pick swaps and God knows what else. So, and there were rumors today that the Pelicans were interested in Kevin Durant. Why? I have no clue. They're building a nice little foundation. Hopefully they get a healthy Zion Williamson back. I like Brandon Ingram. They got nice, decent role players around them. Why would you gut your up-and-coming team for a player that hasn't proven he can lead by himself, right? So it doesn't make sense to me personally. What do you guys think of Kevin Durant potentially going to the Pelicans? That's interesting. He said the amazing Swider, man. Yeah, I look forward to Cole Swider. I think he has, if he has a strong training camp, he might solidify that final roster spot, or maybe they cut somebody and give them their spot. Who knows? He said, my guy DTLF been missing the streams, bro. You good? I'm good, brother. Hey, listen, the internet is fixed, so you're going to be getting daily content from yours truly. And I got a special announcement coming up on Thursday, man. I will drop a video. I don't want to give away too much because I don't want to take away from a certain platform, but I will say something very important. It's going to be an interesting collaboration coming up. So I look forward to it, man. Did you see the LeBron news? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I did. Yes, sir, I did. And listen, as far as the LeBron situation goes, LeBron's camp is going to play it smart. They're going to sit back and wait, and see what Genie and the Lakers do, right? LeBron meeting with the front office, Darvin Ham, talking about the offensive plan, Rob Pelinka, roster patience. All of this is going to factor into the future moves we do, because obviously the main goal is to lock up LeBron James and continue to contend for championships. However, again, everything is going to be I think Rob Pelinka is the master of keeping everything close to the vest. I think he has a master plan. He probably has a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, but he's going to try to execute plan A. Once that one comes off the table, then we might move in a different direction. But right now, everything is still on the table, and let's see who blinks first, right? He said, glad I made it in time, sending love and support. Appreciate you, DM. Thank you, man. He said, go Dodgers, spank the Madres, a.k.a. Padres, Clippers, twin team from San Diego. Hey, the Dodgers, man, this is our year. I'm telling you guys, man, we already knew that, man. We already knew that. We got a stacked roster, and even though we didn't make a splash at the trade deadline, Obviously, pitching has to be on point and everything come playoff time. But listen, this roster that the Dodgers have is one of the all-time greats, in my opinion. I think it's they're rolling right now. They swept back-to-back teams, and I can't wait to see what they do in the postseason. What they got, like about 50-plus games in the regular season. So all the good stuff is coming around the corner. My Rams are about to take the field this Saturday, so I look forward to doing a post-game recap on my second channel, Primetime TV, Space DTLF. Man, go ahead and subscribe. If you're a Rams fan, it's definitely a place you want to be. He said, I think it's meaningless for anyone to predict how many games any team is going to win. Don't get caught up in the ESPN nonsense. Cole Swider needs to get a full-time roster spot. Absolutely, Keith. And this is why I bring up the topic. I'm not going to give you guys my prediction till we get, a bigger picture of the puzzle. We got to get the complete picture to really see what the puzzle is going to look like. Right now, it's a bunch of missing pieces. Again, health is going to factor into it, but ESPN acts like the Lakers did nothing this offseason. The Lakers have been one of the most active teams in the NBA. The only reason that everything is held up right now is due to the fact that the trade market is messed up by the whole net situation, the Jazz trade, and all of that. But that does not mean that the Lakers haven't put in work. Don't let ESPN fool you guys and be like, oh, well, this team is mediocre. No, it's bigger than meets the eye. We still have one of the biggest superstars in the game in LeBron James. We have another one who's recovering and hopefully is fully healthy by the time the season goes. He says he's healthy, looks good. He's been putting in the work quietly. And Anthony Davis. Darvin Ham, we know he's going to feature him heavily. We got a bunch of young pieces that I really, really, really like. All right, people sleeping on the young pieces, but that's how you know the difference between casuals and diehards. Diehards, not a single detail slips past us, right? But we know ESPN, they're casuals because they have to cover every team. So if you have to cover every team, how much do you really pay attention to what's going on in Los Angeles, right? And not to toot my own horn here, but I guess I can say I'm a little bit more of an expert when it comes to the Lakers because I watch every single game from the get, man. From summer league to preseason to regular season to playoffs. Every game I can watch, I consume it all. So that means I'm better prepared to give you a legit analysis of the game rather than ESPN, who probably only watches the national televised games that they get paid to watch to cover that. So, and that's no hate. There's some analysts that do a tremendous job out there, man. It's all love. I respect all my compatriots in the field. But I will say that Laker fans are better equipped to break down the Lakers than, most ESPN or Fox Sports analysts that casually tune in once in a while. He said LeBron is still the best player in the NBA. I wholeheartedly believe that because he impacts the game on every – see, somebody's try to say he's no longer top 5. If you're just stat watching, then maybe I'd agree with you. But if you're actually watching the game, this man makes everybody better. He can still drop 50 on your head, and he's still one of the most athletic forces, strongest forces in the game, well-rounded game as well. I mean, he's added so many things from post-game to, the footwork has gotten better over the years, right? So I truly believe he's still at least a top 3 in this league, at least, right? At best, I do think he can be an MVP candidate if he's all the way healthy and he stays healthy. And in order for him to stay healthy, the usage is going to have to change because I felt like Frank Vogel was overusing LeBron last year. I was cringing every time he was, getting past consistently 40-plus minutes, especially off of back-to-back nights. Hopefully, Darvin Ham can better manage that, especially if he gets the right talent. Then, we can get some of that load off of LeBron's shoulders. That's going to be key as well, right? Especially if you can just keep him healthy in the regular season. Come postseason, you let him run loose. He's a beast. He's a different animal in the postseason. We know that. He said, Dan, can we win the chip next year? I will answer that around December. All right. That's usually when you can see who's who. I'd love to say yes. I'm one of the most positive Laker fans here, but I also want to be realistic with you guys. We don't know what the roster looks like. We don't know how players are going to adjust to the new schemes and all that. So I have to see the product before I can buy the product. And what I mean by that is clearly I'm always sold on the Lakers, always. But to call us legit championship contenders, a lot of things have to line up perfectly. The trade has to be done before training camp, the one that offloads Russell Westbrook. Coaching staff has to immediately come in, and the players have to buy what they're selling right from the get. Health, those 3 things, that 3 combination, then I will give you a much more positive answer come December. But you guys know me, man. I like to really analyze and dissect the NBA, the ins and the outs, and then I will give you guys a legit prediction of if we're true championship contenders or we're not quite there yet. He said, "Hey Dan, do you think you can be a guest on Laker Nation podcast with Trevor Noah?" We're talking about Trevor. Listen, we got something in the works coming up. Don't want to announce anything till it's official, but I will have a big announcement on Thursday. So hopefully you guys tune in. I will be probably dropping a video, especially if we have news. If not, you follow me on Twitter. But yeah, it's getting extremely warm on that front, buddy. So again, it's all possible due to you guys. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate y'all. None of this is possible. And thank God as well that, I was able to fix my internet before any potential collaborations in the near future. So excited, man. Excited. It's a good time to be a Laker fan. Right now, I'm extremely excited. Like there's a jolt in my bloodstream right now about the Lakers, especially if a trade happens that you guys know, man. I like a kid in the candy store when the season starts. That's how I'm going to be. So I'm just saving all my energy, all my positive thoughts, everything, man. And it would be awesome to be able to break it down with great people as well. He said, have the analysts started picking the Clippers yet to win it all? They have. I think, I'm not sure who. Was it Kendrick Perkins said the Clippers were his favorite? Somebody else said it as well. So, yeah, this is, the yearly wolf tickets that mainstream media tries to sell to the fans. But we're not buying it. We've seen how that movie ends every single year. So until they show us something different, we're never going to buy it. Call us haters. I like to call us real laters because we keep it real, man. So we ain't haters. We're real laters. It's all about being real. So I give credit where credit is due. That's why I give Curry his credit. Put him in the top 10 last year for winning that championship. But now it's time to move on to bigger, better things. Dan, you seen Von Miller is trying to recruit Odell again, and Odell's feeling it. I think Odell is pressuring the Rams, but the situation is so weird. Yeah, man, I'm not sure why the Rams haven't given this man a contract. I think just based off of what he did, even if he has to rehab partial, to start the season, it's worth giving this man a contract, especially for the postseason. He was phenomenal. Just having that many options, but I understand that we added some new talent. I get that. The Rams might want to head in a different direction, but I would love to bring back my boy Odell. He deserves another contract for sure. We don't win that championship without him last season. Is Kawhi Leonard cleared to play? I have no clue, bro. I have not really been looking into his situation. Again, not a fan of the Clippers, so you could probably find that information elsewhere. But I never wish injury on nobody, whether I like them or dislike them. Wish everybody the best. You want to beat them at their best. So hopefully he gets healthy and we can smack him around a little bit. He said, I like how Kendrick Perkins called the Clippers a force and named Batum and John Wall. That is hilarious. Kendrick Perkins is quite the character. Not a fan of his basketball analysis, but, for sheer entertainment purposes, I guess he's good for the show. Excuse me. He said, Odell said time and time again he wants to be a Ram. The money situation plus his injury wouldn't bring him back until November. McVay said they're working on getting Odell back. I hope it happens. I don't think anybody deserves to come back to the Rams more than Odell Beckham Jr. He poured his heart and soul into last season. He proved the doubters wrong. Everybody else was talking about he was part of the problem out there and for the Browns. They didn't know what they were talking about. And this is why I was definitely excited when we got him because I wanted him for the longest since he was a giant. He said, LOL, apparently John Wall is going to be quite a difference maker. John Wall is a good player when healthy. He hasn't been healthy in a long time. He's no longer the great player that came out of Kentucky. And to be honest with you, at times, Washington looked way better without him on the court. And that's not me trying to hate or diss him or nothing. But John Wall's a good player, but I think he's past the hill now. If he proves me wrong, then I'll give him props. But, yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath for that. That fan base, I don't know. They've been holding their breath forever, so they're experts of underwater basketball watching. He said, LeBron is a problem on the Lakers. He wouldn't share the ball with Russ. What? David Brown, you just announced to the world that you're a diehard Russell Westbrook fan. Because that statement is not true at all. LeBron shares the ball with everybody. Trust. He said, San Diego strippers will never sniff a chip. A new arena will not change anything for them. Yeah, nobody's worried about them. Right now, as a Laker fan, you have to worry about the defending champions. They're going to get better. They're going to get younger. So, they're going to be around, right? Obviously. And I would love to face them in the Western Conference Finals. You want the best of the best. You want to go through the best if you're a Laker fan. We don't cower from anything, right? We're not like these other fan bases that hope that their favorite teams take the easy route to the championship. We've been there so many times. We know in order to win that championship, once you get to the finals, you have to sharpen your utensils. You have to go to the best of the best. That way you'll be battle tested as far as the players go. They got to be battle tested and ready to go in the final. So I hope to see the best on the way to the championship. And if we do get there, again, things need to go right for us to even be in the conversation. But if we do get there, oh my goodness, can you imagine the excitement here in Los Angeles? We got the Dodgers, we got the Rams, and if the Lakers can win another championship, the parade is going to go crazy, man. Crazy. He said, Dan Perkins now all of a sudden has jump on the Clippers bandwagon. He's a flipper lover. They're all Laker haters. That's all it is. And the way they mask their hatred is they try to annoy us diehard Laker fans because they know that the Clippers annoy diehard Laker fans. They just talk, and never back it up, right? But even other teams' players know. I mean, what did Draymond say at the ESPYs about the Clippers, right? He said, home of 7 professional teams and the Clippers, right? Now, he was wrong when he said home of the Clippers. Trust me. If Kawhi Leonard and Paul George show up to the SoFi Stadium, they're getting booed. If they show up to the Dodger Stadium, they're getting booed. Mostly everywhere they go, there's no love for the Clippers here. So he was wrong about this being partially their city, but he was right about one thing. The city doesn't recognize them as one of the top major sports franchises here. This city is all about winning, right? As cliche as that sounds, the city has always been about winning. It's about legends, right? RIP to all the great legends that have passed recently. But it's about legends, and it's about making history. And you can't say that. I mean, how many legends can you say actually have retired Clippers, right? How many jerseys they got hanging on the rafters? Did they hang Sam Cassell's jersey or Elton Brand's or Blake Griffin's? Nope, because they do them all dirty, man. So, it is what it is, man. I'm over them. He said, if Kobe is the GOAT of the Lakers, DTLF is the GOAT of Laker fans. Hey, I appreciate that, man. That's a major shout out. Thank you, brother. That means a lot. I'm going to do my best to represent you guys on any platform I get featured on. So, again, got some big time news coming for you guys on Thursday. So I might drop a live stream and we might talk some more hoops. And then I'll drop the news as well. He said, would you like LaMelo Ball on the Lakers? Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love young talent. Period. Like, I'm a big Austin Reeves fan, THT fan. Cole Swider already has stolen the hearts of Laker Nation. Like, I think he's going to be a fan favorite. Scottie Pippen Jr. I'm a big fan of young talent. How can you not like the future of the NBA, right? So when you look at LaMelo Ball, I mean, this guy, he's got superstar written all over him. Maybe he hasn't reached that yet, but if they continue to let him develop, they continue to let him learn, he's going to be phenomenal. He's going to be phenomenal. He said, Dan, you should watch Euro basketball. Good to pass time before the NBA starts. Today, Greece versus Spain was lit. He said both have NBA teams and Giannis went off. Think about it, bro. I'd love to watch, but I stay busy for the most part in the day. And when I finally get those ESPN or Bleacher Report notifications, it's too late. But I always watch the highlights. I saw Giannis went off for 31 points today. I'm not surprised. But yeah, I love watching everything hoops, man. Everything hoops. Recently, Ball is Life came to my local park, and I got to see them play live. So that was pretty cool. But anything hoops related is always fun, man. Always. He said AD is supposed to be injury prone, but Kawhi and PG have each played less games than AD. Right? Isn't that crazy how the Laker hate always gets spun on our players? And other players from other teams that nobody gives a flying you know what about always get away with the same, or worse. So you're absolutely right, but I'm not shocked. And that's why I'm here to level the playing field, to tell you guys the truth. And the truth is that Anthony Davis is a champion and a superstar still in this league. And people want to label him all kinds of crazy things, but it's like, okay, keep that same energy for Kawhi, for Paul George, right? He said, do you think LaMelo could mature, though? He said, he seems to me like someone who just plays basketball for fun and happens to get paid. When you play here, you need to want to win and be serious. No. That's a good take, Nick, but it's kind of a bad take as well. Let me tell you why. Yes, LaMelo Ball has fun while playing basketball, and there's nothing wrong with that. We had the greatest point guard of all time have fun while playing basketball. One of the greatest smiles, Magic Johnson, right? So we've seen similarities. Now, I've already seen LaMelo Ball mature into a great young man. We've been watching this kid since he was in Ball in the Family. He was a teenager, sleeping late. His dad got on his ass. We also got to see him mature and grow. A lot of it, people don't give him credit, but LeVar Ball was great. I mean, he made sure that he made sure that he was on these kids' cases, and a lot of times he took credit. He's become great, man. LaMelo Ball is, he's going to continue to be better. As far as the maturity situation goes, I think I think he's matured tremendously from when we first saw him growing up. Putting up 100 points but jacking up 100 shots to match to where he's at now. Now he plays defense. He makes. He's a team first player. He can also take over games, make crazy shots. I mean, his handle is elite. His basketball IQ. Basically, LaMelo Ball is everything we thought Lonzo Ball would be with the Lakers, right? So that's what LaMelo Ball has become, and I think he's matured tremendously. And I only think sky's the limit for him. I only think he's going to get better and better and better. My boy, appreciate the donation. Purple and gold. He said, "Will Giannis be top 5 all time when he retires?" He has a great chance to do it, but in order for him to do it, he has to keep winning because. One championship. We already saw with Steph Curry. One championship is not enough. 2 championships, you're getting your foot in the door. 3 championships, you're in the conversation. Anything past that, and you can make a real argument. This is why LeBron James and Curry have, more than 3 championships, and they are in the top 10. It's not easy to get into the top 10. We're talking about thousands of players that have played in the league and they have all been great. To be in that top 10, man, you have to be truly elite. And I'm not saying Giannis ain't elite, but he needs to sustain that level of elite, just like LeBron has over the years, just like Kobe in the past, just like Michael Jordan. You got to sustain that level of greatness and continue to win to crack that top 10. But is he a top 10 player in the league right now? Absolutely. All time, he looks like a very heavy favorite to become that, but he still needs to put in the work. I mean, that one championship that he won for Milwaukee, for me personally as a fan, my own opinion, is worth more than both of Kevin Durant's championships in Golden State, because one actually elevated his team and helped that. We saw the Bucks go from pretender to contender thanks to the part, as we saw your boy grow, as we saw Giannis grow. And by the way, he's so humble and hard not to love as a player and as a human being. And if you guys haven't seen that Disney movie, shout out to my boy the Shoe Medic who recommended it to me. Y'all haven't seen that Disney movie about his life story, man? I think had me shedding a tear in the end. That's a great movie, and it's going to get you to love Giannis and his family even more. But yeah, I think he has a great shot at cracking that top. I think he's already ahead of Kevin Durant personally, as far as, in the race for the top 10, just because, like I said, sometimes it's not how many you win, but the quality of the one you did win, right? It's almost like LeBron James' best championship. Even though I'm a Laker fan, I could tell you the truth is that his best championship is still the one he won for Cleveland, because Cleveland hadn't won nothing. Right, he came in there and he delivered a promise, a lot of pressure. So again, Giannis did the same thing. It was a similar type of championship. He goes into Milwaukee, a small market. He helps that team build a winning culture by becoming the leader, and carries that team to a championship. And I don't mean carry as, he didn't have great role players and a great sidekick in Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, but I mean he literally made sure that he didn't leave that. He could have took an easy route, just like KD, right? He didn't leave his team. He made sure he delivered a championship there, which a lot of people didn't believe he could do, including myself. I didn't think Giannis could deliver a championship for Milwaukee until I saw that team that year, and I said, okay, this team's going to win the championship, right? I called it around December, and then it ended up coming to fruition. But they hadn't made it past the second round for a couple years before that, right? And then they took that giant leap, and my goodness, it was a sight for sore eyes, because I really didn't want the Suns to win the championship. So it was wonderful. Hey, what's up, Tasia? Good to see you. Good to see you. Dan, I do think Reeves is good enough to start at the 2 at this point, but the fans think he is not ready yet. Most fans that think he's not ready are LeBron fans. I'll be honest with you. And they want qualified players at every position because they want their favorite superstar to win more championships, which is understandable. But in a realistic scenario, he could very well be the best two guard we have on the roster right now. Now, to be determined, we got to see what kind of growth he's done in the offseason, what kind of stuff he's worked on, and all of that is going to factor into it, right? But as of right now, he has great potential to be that starting candidate shooting guard. If he played the same intensity and great IQ he did last year, especially on the defensive end, he's probably going to crack the starting lineup at some point. But let's see what happens in training camp and preseason. Let's not jump the gun, and then we go from there. He said, absolutely. I think he's top 15 right now, personally. Definitely. I mean, I can't argue that. But remember, that list of top 10, you'd be bumping one of the greatest of all time out of that list. So in order to do that, he has to continue his greatness and winning. And I'm cheering for the kid, individually. I'm not a Bucks fan, but I love Giannis. So whenever he doesn't play for my Lakers, I cheer for his team because he's great. I mean, he's just likable. He's humble. I wish Ja Morant was like Giannis, and I would really love Ja. I'd probably have a Ja Morant jersey if he was more like that. But hey, everybody's different, so I respect it. He said, I like Giannis, but I don't know about all time. It's hard even being the best big man. It's hard. Shaq, Kareem, Mikey, and Hakeem, Tim Duncan, etc. He said lots of NBA greats on the list. Exactly. And we're not here to hand any trophies or any awards to these players prematurely. That's why I said I think he could make a top 10 eventually, but he has to continue to stay focused, But I agree, man. I agree with that. He said Giannis is my favorite player in today's game. Hey, that's not a bad player to be your favorite for sure. He said, Dan, off topic, but it's exciting to think that the Dodgers and the Rams could bring us more championships this season to the wonderful city. Man, we are truly listen, we are truly blessed. Whether you're an Angelino or not, if you're a fan of Los Angeles and Los Angeles sports teams, you're truly blessed. We are spoiled, lucky. We have seen so many great championship teams, so many legends come through here. Oh man, it's great, man. You got to be super happy. And you're right. We're living in the golden era of Los Angeles, which means if the Lakers join the party of serious contention, we'll have the trilogy of the top three dogs in LA competing for championships. That's the Dodgers, the Lakers, and the Rams. We know the Rams are about to run it back, but they're about to compete for this title again. They're going to try to defend it. It's going to be hard. It's always really hard in football, but it's possible, man. I like the way we're built, and that's a topic for another day, though. Make sure to subscribe to my second channel. Jose Ortiz, what's up, brother? Appreciate the donation. He said, keep an eye out for random teams like the Blazers. JH back overall better than Buddy's overhypeness. You know what? I was going to announce it later, but I will be bringing a new segment to this channel, right, called Around the League. And I'm only going to pick one random day. But on this day, we're going to talk about whatever team is hot or whatever roster looks good. We're going to talk about it. It's probably going to be on Thursdays, and I can't wait to break it down. Other teams like the Blazers, they made some trades. The Jazz, I'm sorry, not the Jazz, the Timberwolves, all of this stuff. We're going to talk about other teams as well. So I'm going to do that for one day on this channel. And it's probably going to be on Thursday, but I look forward to it. You guys subscribe to my second channel. I will talk about other teams more consistently since I have NBA League Pass. So it should be fun. The LA and Boston sports fans are really the most lucky out of everyone. That is true. Even though I hate Boston, they also have a very winning traditional franchises over there in that city. So for sure, I mean, who can forget what the Patriots have done? Even though I don't like the Red Sox at all, the Red Sox have won plenty. You're right. So, but especially Los Angeles, man, we are Showtime over here in LA, and it's always a pleasure. I was so lucky and blessed to be born in the city of LA, Compton, California native. But even if you're not from here, if you support the city, man, it's all love. Is there how many cities, professional teams have all won championships besides LA? That's something to Google right there. That's definitely something you can Google. I can't answer that. How many have won championships besides LA? There's a couple that have not, but very few. But far and few in between, right? Not as often as LA. So, yeah, Around the League is gonna be flame, bro. You guys are gonna get to see my basketball mind overall, my NBA expert analysis, because even though I love the Lakers and I could talk Lakers 24/7, I could also talk NBA. And amongst my friends, we constantly talk NBA. So I want to bring that to this channel. It's going to be on Thursday, man. I can't wait. I was going to wait till Thursday to announce it, but I got another announcement. So very excited, man. Again, internet's back up and we coming out with a bang. He said, Enrique, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the donation, brother. He said, Mitchell is the missing piece, I believe, if we keep AD and LeBron. Is it possible, Dan? I know that's complicated, but that's the move, bro. Buen trabajo. Thank you, brother. Listen, Donovan Mitchell realistically is completely not possible. And I'll tell you why. Because we don't have that many draft picks to give up for him. That's the main reason why, right? They got 4 first-round picks and a bunch of pick swaps for Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert was worth probably 1 or 2 max. They got 4. So for Donovan Mitchell, they're trying to clean house. Last I heard, they were trying to get 6 or 7 from the New York Knicks. That's the reason Lakers aren't even in the conversation, because we got about 2 we can trade in the next 5 or 6 years. Only 2, right? And that's 2027 and 2029. It's the way the CBA is structured. I wish Donovan Mitchell was an option because, man, I'd love to have him. He's young in his prime. If he's healthy, the dude is elite, especially at scoring. But, yeah, that's just not a reality. However, Kyrie Irving, who I like even more than Donovan Mitchell overall as far as an accomplished player and somebody who knows how to win the championship, Kyrie Irving is realistic. And so, to me, he's the real answer. I know some people say he's a wild card. You don't know what to expect. He's going to play for the greatest franchise ever. He'd be extremely dumb to mess that up. And I do feel like wherever he goes next, if he doesn't make good, his reputation will be forever tarnished. And that might be the last place that takes him in. So I think Kyrie and a Laker marriage would be perfect. I think Jeannie is the perfect type of owner. Very understanding, very compassionate. I think she will give him, some leeway. Be very patient with Kyrie. And I think in return, Kyrie will repay that with winning basketball, and he'll continue to do what he does best, which is put the ball in the basket and play make and just get creative. He would listen. Showtime basketball would officially be back if Kyrie Irving was officially traded to the Lakers. I kid you not. Showtime would be here. I mean, between him, LeBron, and AD, the highlights would be insane. Not to mention the new role players we acquired, athletes like Lonnie Walker, Thomas Bryant, and just guys that do little things to help this roster would be tremendously fun to watch. Insanely. It might be the funnest team to watch in a long time. So I hope it happens for everybody's sake. For everybody's sake. Hey, what's up, T? Good to see you, girl. He said, I'm Compton bred too and proud of it. Yes, sir. 310, baby. Listen, man. By the way, I want to give a major shout out to Serena Williams, man. She's the one who got me. Her and Venus were the ones that got me into tennis. Now I watch other, tennis stars once in a while, especially around the summer whenever they play the tournaments and all that. But yeah, Serena Williams is about to retire after this next. What is it? This next? I don't know what they call the Masters or something like that. No, not the Masters. That's golf. Well, she's about to retire after the next tournament, and man, listen, she is just such an inspiration. Like the strength that she displayed on that tennis court, everything she has had to overcome. Mind you, tennis was predominantly a white sport, which means it was mainly white athletes before Serena came along. So she really was, just a special talent, and they broke through barriers and they set, the path for other minorities and other tennis stars to come through. And they made tennis look cool, which is something. I'm from the hood. Growing up as a kid, I never thought tennis was cool up until I actually started paying attention and, again, watching Serena Williams. So, shout out to her, man. Another Compton native right there, man. Very, 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 very proud of Serena Williams. I've watched most of her career, man, and it makes me sad that all my idols have either passed or are starting to retire. But it tells you one thing, man. The sport is in great hands, and I look forward to seeing the sport of tennis grow. They got Coco Gauff over there. They got Naomi Osaka. I mean, I'm a fan of all of them. He said, are you going to post the Thursday vids on this channel? Gonna be fire. Yes, sir. I'm bringing more content to this channel. This is definitely my primary channel, but I'm also bringing content to that second channel. So if you're a Rams fan, if you like side videos and different stuff, man, I got different things I'm going to be bringing throughout. I'm evolving as a content creator, man, and as my equipment gets better, my internet gets better, everything gets better, I get better. So it's a blessing. I'm thankful, but I'm also gonna, I repay my gratitude with more content, more hard work. So yeah, Thursday's gonna be a thing. I haven't figured out what I'm gonna name it, but we're gonna go around the league. Let's just say that we're gonna be talking. We're not gonna focus primarily on the Lakers. Now we might grace the subject here and there. I'll definitely answer any Laker-related questions, but any fan is welcome to talk about their team. Gonna break down different topics, different storylines every Thursday. So it's a beautiful thing, man. So Dan, I think you should make a video covering the type of offense and defense we will run under Darvin Ham and how our players fit and don't fit the new schemes. You know what? All that is coming after we find out how we're rounding out the roster and everything, man. So I definitely have already touched on some of this, and I think I already made a similar video, but not fully dedicated to that topic. But definitely an idea, and I appreciate it, man. We're getting older, brother. Oh, that's for sure, man. But as we get older, we get wiser as well. So that's the beautiful part. So he said, Rams football this Saturday. Can't wait. I can't wait either. And like I said, I won't do pre and post game because I think that'll take up too much time. But I will be definitely on the days that Lakers don't play or there's nothing else to do. I'm definitely going to do post game recaps on the Rams on my second channel, Primetime TV. So make sure y'all sub, man. If you're a Rams fan, I'm trying to help grow that fan base because the Rams are an elite team and they finally have given us Angelinos what we have always wanted, which was a real Los Angeles team here to represent. And again, they've been here for 6 or 7 years in LA, and it's been great watching them. So, I'm a Rams fan for life. He said, yep, Serena and Venus was lit up the WTA. He said Serena has nothing left to prove she's the GOAT. Oh, for sure, she's the GOAT, man. She is definitely the GOAT, for sure. And to be honest with you, I much rather watch women's tennis than men's tennis. Like I was telling my girl, women's tennis is more back and forth. Men's tennis, I think it relies more on power. So there's a lot less going back and forth. So I get entertained more by the hustle that these women display. And Serena and Venus Williams were just, they embodied what it means to be a Compton native. I know it. I'm a Compton native. I know I got a lot of friends, family. We grew up out there. And I've seen a lot of athletes and I see that they embody that hard work, that hunger from that comes with growing up in the hood and trying to get your family to a better place. And it's a beautiful thing to see when we get legends out of there, because that hunger, that passion, it's really in all of us, Compton natives, and a lot of people from different places where they struggle. There's an extra hunger for greatness. So they embodied that perfectly, and it makes me a little sad to see her retire. But I knew the day would come, just like when I knew the day would come, Kobe Bryant will retire, and I shed tears, man, when Kobe retired, legit. He said, Roy Estrada, hell yeah, never say never. All right, so back to the Lakers topic, though. We kind of ventured off a little bit. So the whole Kevin Durant situation with Kyrie, conflicting reports. Some say Kyrie wants to stay. Some say Kyrie does not like the front office and the coaching staff. Again, we're going to keep getting this till we get official news. But I think when we'll know officially what's going to happen is when the Lakers finally either strike a deal or they don't, right? One of two things is going to happen. If the Lakers make a deal with a different team, we will know that the Nets try to play us. They prolong the situation. They were never serious about it. I do believe that the only reason we haven't made a deal because the Lakers believe there's still a shot at Kyrie Irving. And I think that's also going to be a huge factor in LeBron James re-signing that extension. I really do, right? Who we trade for and if we actually give him a chance to compete for a title. LeBron doesn't have to sign this extension until next summer, so he can hold out as long as he wants, right? And I respect that. I mean, he's going to do what's best for him and his family. But everybody knows what's best for you and your family is here in LA at the end of the day. Let's see if they figure it out, and they do that. Any final questions, guys? This video felt quick, like a breeze, man. I always enjoy talking to you guys. Again, video coming this Thursday around the league. Going to break down other teams, so make sure you guys tune in for that. And I also have a nice, cool little announcement, man, that Thursday as well. So I look forward to it, guys. He said, yo, Dan, they have us at number 9 in the West. What do you think? Yeah, just to recap that, because I broke it down earlier in the video. it's way too early to predict where anybody's going to land in the West because Kevin Durant has kind of ruined this summer with his trade request. And what I mean by that is there's still a lot of teams that are not completed yet. So I'm going to hold my thoughts on that. I don't believe we'll be number 9 if we started tonight. If we started today, I do believe we will be a top 8 team in the West. All right, just having LeBron and AD get healthy with a new, formidable coaching staff gives me that hope. But where I'm ready to place them, I'm not sure yet till we find out what our roster looks like heading into training camp. I will give you guys a better answer then. He said, hey, Dan, if you want to see athletes, try to watch some men's and women's volleyball matches. They're quick, they have great footwork, and they can jump. I usually watch all that stuff around the Olympics, man. I always definitely got to support, your country. Definitely got to show love to the athletes, man, for sure. That's usually when I watch this stuff. But, yeah, you're right. You're right about that. He says, screw ESPN. You know what it is, baby. You know what it is. But look, at the end of the day, guys, the internet is back. DTLF is back. Feels good to finally make a video, no interruptions. I will be bringing you guys tons of content. So keep it locked right here, guys. It's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys so much for the views, for all the donations, the likes, and just your guys' overall support, man. None of this is possible without you guys, the nation, Laker Nation. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys real soon. Make sure to smack that like button. Subscribe if you already haven't. Hit that post noti bell because you never know when we're going to drop a banger. And I will see you guys on the next one, all right? Peace out.